What is up, you nerds? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go back to my basics and have a casual chat about what's going on with the 100 days of data science, because I promised I'd be vlogging this whole thing and I've absolutely failed to do that. And I kind of want to explain why. And this is what I'll be talking about in this video, kind of what's going on, what's been happening in the past 2 months or so. And I also want to see how you're doing. Leave a comment down below, tell me what's going on in your life, how have you been, what have you been learning. Let's catch up. Grab a drink. I've got coffee, although with this weather being as warm as it is, I probably shouldn't be drinking anything warm, but you know I need my coffee, so let's just deal with that. Anyway, 100 days of data science. What is it? What's going on? Why haven't I been posting about it? So I started this challenge, and I'll leave the video up there where I talked about what I wanted to do with 100 days of data science, which was supposed to be me studying data science for 100 consecutive days and vlogging that experience, talking about what I'm learning and all of that stuff. Well, I mean, I've been doing and I'm still doing the challenge technically. I'm just not doing it with the same rules that I set out with. So my goal was to do at least 15 minutes of data science studies a day. And I realized after probably the first couple weeks that I'm just probably not gonna do that. And I'll talk a little bit about that later, but essentially, I have been doing it. Most of the time when I actually do it, I do it in longer spurts because for me it's easier to not context switch a lot. So instead of doing 15 minutes every day for 7 days, I would rather do maybe 2 hours on 2 days, cover probably more than I would have in those 15 minutes in 7 days, and also just have a better time and better opportunity to concentrate. So that's something that I've been doing more recently. Not every week. I've had a lot of weeks where I haven't done anything. Let's not curse, let's keep this PG. But I have been doing it, just not the way that I wanted to, and probably not as much as I was initially planning, to be fair. But I'll talk a little bit about like motivation and your why for doing these challenges and everything, so keep watching for that. I have been making progress on almost all the courses except for after the first week I haven't really touched the maths for data science course because I've been focusing more on building my foundations with R and R programming, which I've actually liked surprisingly much. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about R. If you want to hear more about my thoughts, by the way, on like R versus Python, especially for data analytics, in a separate video, leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to do that now that I've had some time to think about it and play with both. But actually I quite like R. It has a lot of pros. It feels very natural in terms of learning data analytics and using it for data sciencey stuff, so surprisingly impressed. But in terms of courses, yeah, I've kind of made progress on all of them. I kind of switch it around a little bit to keep it interesting, cover a little bit of different topics from different angles. I've noticed that, for example, DataCamp and Coursera sometimes complement each other from the perspectives of covering a similar basic topic but showing either different examples or even like different methods of doing things. They had pretty interestingly quite a few different approaches to it, and so I like using both. What I do want to say, and this is a tip for everybody like me that's a little bit of a restless soul when it comes to studying and learning and wants to take multiple courses at the same time and kind of switch between them and combine and mix and match. Coursera has a subscription, and I didn't realize this for like the longest time. Like I realized this probably like on week 2 of this journey, and it's so good. Like literally you pay, so in Europe it's about 50 euros. I assume it's around $50 to $60 US. I would assume it's usually around the same, and you get access to all of their, what is it, like 3,000 courses and the certificates and all of the exercises, whereas normally I would have paid for an individual course, which would have meant that I pay around, I think it's 30 to 40 euros per course. And I was doing like mastering software development with R, math for data science, the Google Data Analytics certificate, and the review is coming, I promise. I keep saying that, but I have like a couple of the courses left to do, but I will get to it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but at least those 3. So I've been paying 120 euros for those 3. Now I pay like 50 and I get access to everything. Like, why did I not know about this before? I'll leave a link to it down below. Yes, it's an affiliate link, but I rave about Coursera because it's amazing all the time anyway. So if you don't want to support this channel, just feel free to Google Coursera Plus subscription and I'm sure it'll take you right onto the page. But it's also linked in the description if you want to check it out. It's pretty great. Anyway, I realized pretty early on in this progress when I was trying to edit a video that vlogging myself study for 100 days is not very interesting, just because if you're watching me study, all you're literally seeing is me sit on my bed with my laptop, either typing or taking notes, because I'm either coding or writing notes. And that's it. And I was like, I don't know how to do this because I wasn't going to vlog like my entire days because that's just not me. And that was one of the reasons why I didn't really end up doing the weekly vlogs, because then it would have been just me explaining, I guess, some of the topics that I've been learning, but then that's like done in a few minutes. And there's, I don't know, it's just, I didn't really figure out a good concept for doing it. If you have any ideas for the future on content like this, do leave your ideas down below. I'd be happy to hear them and what you want to see and what would be interesting to you. But yeah, if you have ideas, do tell. Anyway, I've also realized that because I'm not studying for any particular reason, I guess, like for me, my why is basically I'm doing this because I find it fun. That's not as strong as for example when I was studying SQL, when I really wanted to switch to a more technical data role type of thing back in, I want to say 2017, and then I just blasted through like a very solid course, which I also link below, the Udemy course that I always recommend. But that took me like 2 or 3 weeks and I was done. I was like, okay, I think I could work with this. And I ended up getting a job that required me to know SQL. And I just don't have that same sort of reasoning because I'm not currently looking to transition into data science. If you don't know, if you're new here, hello, I'm a program manager and that's my profession currently. And I don't really need Python or R currently. It's just because I'm interested in it. It's because I like tinkering with data. But at the same time, because it's fun, a lot of the time that's enough for me. But Ireland has recently come out of a lot of restrictions, especially during this like June and July period. We've gotten dining anywhere back. Like restaurants were closed for pretty much the entire year up until June, other than for takeout. We are able to finally meet people. That kind of accelerated in June as well. Essentially from January to May, like nothing really happened. Like there was nothing to do outside of the house most of the time. Like there were no, I don't remember, I think it was sometime in May that the non-essential retail opened up again. So literally May, June, July have been just a time where a lot of the fun things that you can do outside of your house and opportunities to see people and stuff like that have become more of a thing again. And if you haven't done that for like 6 months, of course that's the fun that you want to have, not sit with your laptop like you have for like the past year and a half and see your friends and do the things. So I think that's played a huge role in why I've sort of done it in spurts and sometimes just forgotten to really focus on it, because there's been so much more than I can actually do that doesn't involve me sitting here where I literally work, study, edit, do everything. And so yeah, that I think has played a part in it and in my motivation to actually keep going. I think that's some little explanation as to like why that happened there. But other than that, I think I'm gonna finish it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it in R. I kind of want to do some of it in R and complete some of the courses on Coursera and DataCamp that I have going on, but there is also, and I'll link this one down below as well in case some of you are interested, there is a challenge starting on Kaggle called 30 Days of Machine Learning, I think. 30 Days of ML, yeah. And It's free. They give you, I think the first 2 weeks they give you materials and challenges and exercises that you do in order to get yourself up to speed on like Python and the essential machine learning concepts, and it prepares you by the end of the 30 days to take part in a beginner friendly Kaggle competition. And if you haven't seen Kaggle competitions before, they're essentially data science and machine learning competitions that can be initiated by Kaggle, but a lot of the times they're also initiated by outside organizations that even offer pretty good prizes for the best machine learning models and data science solutions to their problems. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that down below. Kaggle's a great resource for data science, so if you're not familiar with it, get familiar with it. We love it over here. But yeah, that's kind of where I am currently. I had a couple of good weeks. I'm not going to go into like super much detail. I really want to rate the courses that I've done just because I think it's really useful to hear from somebody who's actually like gone through the courses. So that's something that I really want to do. If you're interested in that, hit the subscription button, slight plug, but it'd be really appreciated, as well as if you think this was interesting, if you think this kind of content is interesting, hit the like button so that I know. And yeah, if you have any questions about the courses or the challenge or any of that, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Cheers!